morning, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine this. The sun is shining, the sky is blue, you are strolling on the streets of Budapest, thinking about all the green economy-related innovations and solutions you just heard. Hopefully, this will be you next year. ÖKOINDUSTRIA 2021 that will be held on the 28th to 30th of April. My name is Zsófia Tomai and I am the moderator of the day. If things were going according to plans, I would be standing in front of you in person on a stage opening the expo as we speak. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, however, unfortunately we can only meet online. The organizing team of the conference decided, rightly so, to postpone ÖKOINDUSTRIA 2020 to next year. The organizers didn't want to leave you hanging though. We even moved our stage to the Danube so you get a little feel for Budapest. Therefore, it is my pleasure to welcome you at the online intro session, which is a preliminary event of the ÖKOINDUSTRIA Green Expo. The main patron of the expo is His Excellency János Áder, President of Hungary. We are also grateful to have His Excellency Péter Szijjártó, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade, and His Excellency István Nagy, Minister of Agriculture, as patrons of the ÖKOINDUSTRIA 2020. The programs will be unfolding throughout 3 days, with exciting presentations, roundtables, and conferences. International and national best practices will be introduced by renowned guest speakers. We will talk about practical steps of the circular economy, the new waste streams, the future of plastic, cleaning, monitoring our freshwaters, brownfield management, and remediation exercises. Moreover, we will join the closing pitch session of the Startup Plastic Surgery program. Today, after the welcoming words, you will hear the keynote speech of Antonis Mavropoulos on Industry 4.0 and the circular economy, and you will also have a chance to participate at the roundtable dialogue on plastic and circular economy. But before we start, please allow me some technical details. You can stream our events both in English and in Hungarian. Just stroll down our webpage and you'll find your preferred language. I will say this also in Hungarian for our Hungarian viewers. Hölgyeim és uraim, a mai eseményünket angolul és magyarul is tudják követni. Honlapunkon, hogyha legörgetnek, akkor lejjebb megtalálják a magyar streamelést is. You will also have the option to ask questions from Mr. Mavropoulos by using the chat window. So let's kick off the event by the welcoming words of Gergely Hankó, Managing Director of the Hungarian Association of Environmental Enterprises and the Event Director of ÖKOINDUSTRI 2020. Gary, as most of us know him, is also the Vice President of the National Member of the International Solid Waste Association and the Project Manager of Plastic Gov. He's been working in the field of environmental protection and sustainability for 14 years. In 2015, he was awarded the Herman Otto Innovator Award by the Ministry of Rural Development. Now, as the director of the association, he represents the Hungarian green industry, expanding their opportunities to make the world a better place. Gary, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Zsófia. Hello, everyone. Dear Excellencies, distinguished guests, our patrons and supporters, ladies and gentlemen, welcome you all at the opening ceremony of the ÖKOINDUSTRIA Green Expo. It's a real honor to have you here, and thanks for participating from 14 different countries. Now we are wiggling on the Danube, and we try to summon our beautiful capital to you. I really hope that next April we can meet in person here in Budapest and join forces for a much more sustainable future. We are ready and supercharged for the trade show, with the exhibitor areas 80% already booked and more than a dozen professional programs are already scheduled. Right now, in this ongoing pandemic, our association's members are working in the front line, analyzing sewage for detecting and quantifying residues of the virus in the wastewater, handling hazardous waste from hospitals and residents as well, and excavating thousands of tons of waste out of our rivers right now. It's an undisputable evidence that you can count on the green industry in the worst circumstances as well. Huge thanks and appreciation for their tireless and humble everyday efforts. Relying and building on their accountability and professionalism, we are enhancing a green reboot of the economy. This requires an entirely new approach and mindset, new solutions, innovations, ecologically sustainable businesses, and a very supporting legislative background, and a fully operational and truly circular economy. We have enormous potentials here in Central and Eastern Europe to go circular and be sustainable. Our association, the Hungarian Association of Environmental Enterprises, with its 245 members, their 40,000 employees, their yearly total revenue of 3.2 billion euros, represents the green industry advocating waste management, wastewater treatment, remediation and brownfield management projects, air and noise protection. So Hungary can be a real change maker and a good partner in this transformation with our eco-innovations and competent experts. But time is passing by and our precious resources are eroding. Our waters are becoming contaminated, our air is highly polluted, and our land is already exhausted. So we have to act now, but we already know we are late. Luckily, we are running really promising projects, such as developing the green label market here in Hungary, cleaning up our rivers with the plastic cup, minimizing the packaging footprint of the FMCG sector, enhancing industrial symbiosis cooperations, and finally, ÖKOINDUSTRIA. Our Carbon-Free Expo is a traditional meeting point for the Hungarian and international representatives of the green industry and for decision makers alike. In April, the sixth exhibition will showcase conferences, B2B meetings, international workshops demonstrating the latest trends, results, and innovations of the industry. It's a great honor that the Kingdom of the Netherlands will be represented at the guest country of the Expo with its well-established Dutch eco-innovations. It gives us an extra boost and a special attraction to be a leading regional Green Expo in 2021. Thank you, Ambassador Van Hal, for your tireless efforts on this. And last but not least, I would like to thank my colleagues, their inexhaustible stamina to organize this series of events. So thank you so much, guys. Dear ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the show and please join us on social media and subscribe to our newsletter on the webpage of ÖKOINDUSTRIA to keep up the fresh news and updates of the Expo. Thank you so much.
It's not only the staff, but also Gary has been working day and night to organize our event. So Gary, thanks also to you on behalf of all of us. And now I would like to ask His Excellency René van Hal, Ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands to Hungary, to deliver his speech. Mr. Ambassador, the floor is yours.
Sophia, Gary, thank you very much for your nice introductory words. Dear participants, so good to be with you, of course, in a video conference call. It was not without reason, of course, that we had to be agile and on our feet. We had to reschedule ÖKOINDUSTRIA, but I think that was a very wise decision. And of course, representing the Netherlands and being able to be the guest country next year is very exciting. It's very important. There's a couple of issues that we would like to address. And get some publicity for, and those I will just briefly touch upon in my short speech. It goes without saying that the world is facing complex and environmental challenges, And my country, the Netherlands, really believes that what is necessary is a transition to a circular economy, and that that is key to achieving the so-called Sustainable Development Goals. We need to leave the model of take, make, waste approach. Our planet is facing its boundaries. A change is needed. My country has the ambition to become a fully circular economy and society by 2050. And we fully realize that that cannot be done just by a government, but that we need to work together with companies and knowledge institutes. We call that the so-called triple helix. And that Dutch triple helix will only function well if we find partners all over the world. So that's why I'm happy that today I can partner up with my Hungarian friends, but I'm also aware that there are many participants today from other countries. We need to work globally on these issues. One of the things that we really like to focus on, and it's also one of the strengths of our economy, is to collaborate by sharing insights and tools on important topics like circular agro-food, water and waste management, chemical recycling, and innovative packaging. Our private-public platform on circular economy that is also open for business with others is the so-called Holland Circular Hotspot. It collaborates internationally by sharing best practices from businesses, knowledge institutes, and governments, central governments, local governments. To create an economy by 2050 that is truly 100% circular, we need to go beyond international borders. That's why we are here, but that's why we're looking for partners. One of the things that we have done in Hungary to find partners to work on this goal, to become circular, is the so-called Hungarian Circular Economy Platform. We have set that up with Hungarian partners like the Ministry of Innovation and Technology and the Business Council for Sustainable Development in Hungary. And of course, we're also happy that the organizer of ÖKOINDUSTRIA, the so-called Association of Environmental Enterprises, is also a member of this platform. We now have about 80 members with representatives of the government, business sectors and knowledge institutes. And during the Circular Economy Summit last November, the platform has signed a strong cooperation with another organization, the Holland Circular Hotspot, again to really stimulate this knowledge exchange, because that is what was needed, knowledge exchange. Another example that we're working on here in the Hungarian context is the so-called Lean and Green platform. It's set up by our embassy together with the Hungarian partner GS1 Hungary and the Hungarian Association of Logistics, Purchasing and Inventory Management. What we do, of course, in this time of Corona is that we don't really meet in person, but we had, for example, in September, a first online workshop where the participants learned that Lean and Green Europe is really a CO2 emission reduction program with local offices in 14 European countries, among which the Netherlands. It has a proven track record of establishing collaboration and also focusing on best practices. And of course the goal is to work together towards a less wasteful and more sustainable future. As I said, we're very glad that we can participate next year in ÖKOINDUSTRIA. And of course, we hope to welcome you to our pavilion in April, where you will be able to meet with Netherlands company representatives of various sectors offering green solutions. One of the things that I would now like to highlight is the so-called Wet Skills Challenge, because that will be there also in April next year. Wet Skills Challenge is where international teams of young water students that are studying water management, water treatment, etc., and professionals will work on solutions for local challenges. Another thing that I would like to point out is that we're also very happy that at the international conference, Saving Our Rivers tomorrow, that it will feature also a couple of speakers from my country. One of them is Bernard Merks. Bernard is one of the co-founders of Waste Free Oceans Foundation, and he's also the owner of the Green Wave Plastics. The second speaker is Ramon Knoester. He's also a founder of Clear Rivers, and both have really ingenious, fun solutions for collecting and reuse of marine and river litter. So as I said, let's co-create on working and finding new solutions to tackle the global challenges and change the world for the better. And now I would like to give the floor. I know it's actually your job, but still, I would like to give the floor to Johan Oost, who will tell you much more about wet skills. Thank you so much for your attention.
Yeah, let's start over again. Well, bring in young talents. That's also important for conferences worldwide. That's why we created a program called Wet Skills. We bring international talents with diverse backgrounds, cultures and genders together, and they need to come up with out-of-the-box solutions for real-life cases. And these cases are provided by sector partners. Last year, we've been for the first time in Hungary. It's a program since 2010. And we've been to 23 different countries. As said, for the first time, Hungary last year. And we organized it aligned to the Budapest Water Summit, where we had our finals. Well, let's meet my team. We have a mixed team of Hungarian and Dutch members for this Wet Skills in Hungary. But also we have Laura and Esther from the Hungarian Water Association, also representing the Budapest University of Technology and Economics. Sylvia, she is from the Blue Planet Foundation, and also Eva from the Dutch Embassy. Well, this is the team for next year. Well, let's go back for last year. What is Wet Skills about? It's a 2-week program where students and young talents meet. Well, first of all, meet the city, the beautiful city of Budapest. We have field trips, professional field trips, for example, to the Budapest Waterworks, and they need to work in teams on their case. And it's not only young, but we also try to have an intergenerational discussion where experts also have their input. Well, during that 2 weeks, they come up with out-of-the-box solutions, and they put it on a poster and a pitch. And that pitch is really what we are going to bring next year to the ÖKOINDUSTRIA as well. And at the end, like last year, we have the awarding ceremony, and one of the teams will win the competition. Well, Wet Skills is a cocktail where talents with fresh views and new energy, we mix them with the cases. These are provided by professional partners from the sector, and we mix them also with expertise, local expertise. We have a pool of experts, and they, in the 2-week pressure cooker, they need to come up with out-of-the-box solutions. But also we create new networks, and we energize talents to stay in the water and sustainability sector. Well, the added value of Wet Skills is, first of all, energizing talents to join the sector, integrate them with the other professionals, and also train them to become the future water and sustainability leaders. We focus on innovation, co-creating new ideas, and we also, in our What's Next program, we try to follow up them and to implement them. It's an icebreaking intergenerational input for professional water events worldwide, like the ÖKOINDUSTRIA. Well, we create networks, international networks, but also local networks between academia and the work field, but also we have a large alumni database, and we are still in touch with most of them. And it creates positive communication. What's our contribution to the Sustainable Development Goals? Water is in our core, but also aligned to water, there are a lot of other Sustainable Development Goals, like energy, like living in cities, living water, etc. We create new partnerships, inclusive partnerships, and this methodology is also refreshing. inclusive, and for example, we strive to respect and equality. Well, the road to next year. Well, I hope to meet you live, as I already said, like everyone is said before me. We focus on a broad theme called living and safe rivers for a green economy. The finals will be at the ÖKOINDUSTRIA in April. We strive to have 20 to 25 participants from Hungary, from Netherlands, but also from other European countries. We created nice networks in Europe, and we actually, Hungary in April will be the start of 3 events in a row. So afterwards we go to Denmark and Romania, and at the end of the year we will have one in the Netherlands as well. So we hope to have Hungarian participants there as well. We will have 4 to 5 cases and those teams, and we are still looking for the last water and sustainability cases by sector partners. So if you have a great case, please contact us. Well, it's a challenge to be outside the box, but it's much more easy to do that together. So let's meet in person in April, use the power of talents, and please follow us. And if you have any questions, let us know. Thank you very much, and have a great online conference.
Thank you. In person. Our next speaker would have been Mr. Kristóf Szabó, CEO of the Hungarian Export Promotion Agency. Unfortunately, though, Mr. Szabó could not join us today due to some unforeseen events. But Mr. Szabó has asked us to convey his best wishes to the event, and wish all of you great deliberations. And with that, we came to the end of our welcoming speeches. I would like to thank His Excellency for joining us in person, and Gary for kicking off the event.